Well, as it just so happens, I fixed the doorbell here at our house. It's not worked for some time. The problem that it was having was that it would constantly ring the front door chime over there, and it would never stop. Now, a lot of people would think that maybe that represents a stuck button, and normally they'd probably be right. But this doorbell is a real old-school doorbell. And the way that it works for the front door, it has a simple ding-dong chime. That is to say that when you hit the front door button, this coil is energized and fires a wooden mallet first at this chime, and then a spring returns it so it hits the other chime. But the melody maker for the front door is a great deal more complex. It consists of a small synchronized motor that runs around a track. And when you first energize that doorbell button, it gives this motor enough oomph to get started. And then this innermost copper band here has a terminal that rides along it and allows that motor to stay powered up so that each one of these contact points can be energized by all these fingers over here. And when they're energized, these little dots, one of these chimes sounds from a mallet that strikes it from behind. And then when it has completed its run, ordinarily that copper terminal would ride into a plastic spot, but over the years it got splayed out, and so it stopped working. Well, I have fixed that by reshaping the terminal. Now, this being an old house, of course, these are old doorbell wires. Let's see what happens when I short them momentarily. Of course, when it was splayed out like that, it wouldn't let the doorbell ever stop ringing. So for the longest time, we just disconnected power to it, and finally our mother bothered us enough that I decided to take a look at it and determined that the fix was actually pretty simple, and that this poor old doorbell will probably sit here for another 60 or so years and chime reliably. Now, if you find yourself needing to replace your own doorbell buttons, as I do, that's not hard to do either. Basically, you need to buy a button that's suitable for the voltage and type of doorbell system that you have. This is a wired system, so I got a wired doorbell button suitable for use with 24 volts, because that's what this old system uses. When you take your old doorbell button off, and you shouldn't even have to disconnect the power, because these are very low power, low current leads, but you can if it'd make you feel better. There are two leads that you'll find. This third one down here is probably just a byproduct of people using cable that was handy at the time, and it doesn't do anything. But these two leads are what you'll need to hook up to the screw terminals at the top and the bottom in your doorbell button. Now I've got one wire hooked up. Now both wires are hooked up. It's time to mount the button to the wall. And there'll probably be a couple of screws in your doorbell button package, although mine seem to have given me the slip, that can be used for that. And there you have it. One newly installed doorbell button to go with our newly repaired doorbell.